Some students have indicated to me ongoing confusion regarding the set statement. So it is my goal with this video to clear up that confusion. And I think it's worth beginning with a review of data steps versus proc steps, and then talking through the thought process within a data step. All right, on the left side of the screen, we see with data steps, we can manipulate our data. We can create new variables, we can modify values, we can combine data sets or subset them. With proc steps, we can't actually change the data, but we can describe it. We can determine what the variable types are using proc contents. We can show the data using proc print. We can count values using proc freq or average them with proc means. We can even rearrange them. Rearranging isn't actually changing them. And then I've got in bold here the last or most recent proc that you've learned, proc import, which converts a spreadsheet to a SAS data set. All right, so let me sum up. We can actually change our data within a data step. We can't change it in a proc step, but we can describe it. All right, now let's talk a little bit more in depth about a data step. And I'll begin with a baking analogy. So let's say that I have somebody who just really wants to please me and do something for me. And they say, "What do you want me to do?" And I say, "I would like for you to bake a peach cobbler." Well, the next logical question is, okay, well, where are the peaches? Well, they're on the kitchen counter. Okay, and where should I put it when it's done? Put it on the table. All right, now let's think about SAS programming in a data step. So SAS wants to know what we want it to do for us. And I'll go back to a program from earlier in the textbook, program 4.7. We want to create an average score variable based on 3 test score variables. Okay, well, SAS will then ask, well, where are these 3 test score variables that you want me to average? Well, they are in the learn.testscores SAS data set. Okay, fabulous, I can do that. Now, once I've done it, where do you want me to put it? Well, I'd like for you to put it in a temporary data set called new. Okay, well, at this point, let's go to SAS and take a look at that program. And here is that data step. All right, so let's go through those questions again. SAS wants to know, what do you want me to do for you? I want you to create an average score based on 3 test scores. Okay, where are those 3 test scores? They are in the learn.testscores SAS dataset. Okay, fabulous. Where should I put it when I'm done? Put it in this temporary data set called new. Okay, I can do it. Let me get to work. All right, now let's move on to the homework assignment from last week. You wanted SAS to create a new variable for you. So here's a data step that you should have had in your homework. So the question is, all right, what do you want me to do for you? Okay, SAS, I want you to do 2 things for me. I want you to create labels for my variables, and I want you to create a new age bracket variable based on the age variable and the bracket format that I created above. Okay, wonderful. Where is this age variable? It's in the bas150.football dataset. Okay, fabulous. Now where do you want me to put it? I want you to put it in that same dataset. Okay, now you might have not had the bas150, so you would have told perhaps that you wanted it in the temporary dataset called football. There was some flexibility there as to how you approached it. All right, so the thing that I wanted you to notice in program 4.7 and in the data step from the homework is that SAS needs to know where to find the existing variable, and it has to look inside some data set, and we specify that in the set statement. Okay, well, what were you using before then? Because that wasn't in everything we did. Okay, well, let's look back at the first program from the textbook, program 1.1. You're right, we didn't always use a set statement. We began by looking at other kinds of data sets that weren't SAS data sets. We had text files and CSV files, and those had to be brought into SAS using an in file and an input statement. But we can think through the same thought process. What do you want me to do for you? I want you to create a cost per seed variable based on price and number. Okay, well, where are price and number? Well, they are in this veggies text data set that I'm bringing into SAS. Okay, great. Where do you want me to put the cost per seed variable? Well, I want you to put it in a temporary data set called veg. Okay. Well, how about when we had data lines? Let's go down to one of the homework problems that you had. SAS wants to know, what can I do for you? Well, SAS, please create a weight kilogram variable for me based on the weight in pounds variable. Okay, well, where's the weight in pounds variable? Oh, it's in the data lines below that I'm inputting up above. Okay, and where should I put this weight kilogram variable? Well, I want you to put it in a temporary data set called prob2. Okay, so it's that question of where do I get this existing variable? Sometimes we were bringing it in from an external text file or CSV file. Sometimes we had it within our data step in data lines, but now, and for the most part going forward, we'll be dealing with a SAS data set, and we're going to specify that in a set statement. So the set statement is going to tell SAS where to get what it needs to do our commands, and then the data statement tells SAS where to write everything to when it's all done. And I'm going to give you a little bit of a preview of what's coming up later. We don't always have to specify some other kind of file or data lines. We could just define our values within our data step with what's called initializing our variable. So in chapter 8, which is coming up very soon, you'll see do loops where you might have an interest or an interest rate and a starting balance that you initialize in your program. It's not in some other data set. You just say, all right, I'm starting with this number. Now I want you to do this calculation with these numbers. So I don't have a set statement or an in file or an input statement or a data line statement because the numbers I need I've defined here in lines 81 and 82. Okay. I hope that I met my goal of clearing up the set statement for you, but if you still have questions, please just email me.